Lovely starshine lights my way to bed. Magic rainbows glisten in my head. Just like a child I live in wonder.
Hi and welcome to Handmade by Ditsa Tulip. I'm Mel and thanks for stopping by. I'm just sharing an unplanned video today just to share a couple of ideas with you and also to let you know about a sewing challenge which is running. It's been running through August and is continuing into September, so I just wanted to make sure that you are all aware of that as well. So as you will have seen from my previous videos, I'm really trying to make an effort at the moment to use my fabric scraps for useful purposes. I hate to throw any fabric away because one, it's a waste and I love fabric, and two, it's not good for the environment if we've got loads of waste. So that's what I've really been focusing on. And I wanted to share another couple of ideas that I've done which make really useful things for the sewing room. So hopefully you've watched my previous video where I used scraps of Liberty fabric to cover pebbles to make pattern weights. If not, I'll either insert a card or leave a link in the video notes so that you can check that out. But the next thing that I did is along the same lines, but it's this sweet magnetic pin cushion. So hopefully you can see there are some pins on there and it's magnetic. So I made it in a very similar way. What I did is used air drying clay and a cookie cutter and kept it really nice and thick and chunky because I wanted it to be quite heavyweight. So literally used a hard cookie cutter to slice through the air drying clay. I then scooped a little bit out of the centre and inserted a magnet. These ones are quite strong magnets, they're just the ones that they had in my local DIY shop. Obviously with magnets you need to be careful around electronic devices, so if you've got pacemakers and things like that, so only use magnetic devices if it's safe for you to do so. But yeah, I then put one of these little magnets, I set it inside the clay. I then put a thin layer of clay on the top of it and let it dry, and then I used the same method as I did with the pebble pattern weights and covered it with Liberty fabric and then Deco Patch glue, and it's worked absolutely brilliantly. So yeah, it's a nice strong magnet. It looks pretty and it matches the pebbles that I made as well. So that's the first idea. The second idea is along the same lines, and this is also magnetic. Let me just swap a couple of pins over. And this is a sweet flower magnetic wrist pin cushion. So all I've done, I'll show you a little bit more about the flower in a second, but I've used scraps of fabric to make these individual petals. I've then just added some green felt leaves, and I've wrapped one of the magnets around some yellow fabric in the centre, and that then obviously makes it magnetic. And I've just made a simple wristlet just by using some elastic that was in my stash. So then when I'm sewing, that's really useful. It doesn't slip about. It's really easy because it's quite a strong magnet. It's easy just to throw the pins at it as I'm sewing, and I can't see if I can twist my arm round far enough, but you can see they don't fall off. They hold in super tight. So yeah, that was another idea that I just wanted to share with you. This again, lovely idea for using up fabric scraps, and it's not difficult to make at all. What I did is just did some basic petal shapes in paper in 3 different sizes, so a large one, a medium one and a small one, and a slit up the centre. What I then did is got 2 layers of fabric with some interfacing in between and cut them out in the petal shapes. I then, if I just show you up close, hopefully you can see there, I've not finished it around the edge or anything like that, but I just stitched it through both layers of the fabric and the interfacing. Then what I did is cut a little slit in the bottom of the petal and bent it over like that so that it makes like a little cup shape, and just put a spot of glue, and then you just build the flower up. So you obviously start with the larger ones and place them with a bit of glue inside one another, and then move on to the medium and then the small. And then I just wrapped a magnet up with some yellow fabric and glued that in the centre, and then just cut out some felt leaves and glued those on. So that's the second idea, and I thought with it being, it's the 1st of September today when I'm recording this video, so starting to think about Christmas gifts and things like that. So if you've got anybody who sews and you want to make handmade gifts, either of those would be good ideas because they're super useful. As I said, just make sure you're mindful of potential dangers when working with magnets around electronic devices and things like that, and obviously don't put it too close to your sewing machine if it's computerized and things, but definitely a good idea for gifts, and they're super useful. Do let me know in the comments if you like these little ideas for using up fabric scraps. I really enjoy doing it. I find it quite rewarding to know that I'm using up the fabric rather than throwing it away. But just let me know in the comments if you do like these types of videos, and let us know in the comments as well what you do with your fabric scraps so we can share some ideas. Feel free to leave links to any videos or blog posts that you've got out there. Okay, so the next thing that I just wanted to share with you is the sewing challenge, which is being hosted by JJ from the Camden Stitch. I'm sure that you know JJ. If you don't, then head over and check out her channel. I'll leave a link in the video notes. So the challenge is Sew Frugal, and what that is about is really that you don't have to spend a fortune on sewing. Sewing can be a really expensive hobby when you've got all your machines you've got to buy, all your fabrics, all your notions, your patterns. It really can add up and it can become quite an expensive hobby. So the idea behind this challenge is to be more frugal with your sewing. So you're thinking about how you can source fabrics without spending a fortune, how you can source your notions. So things that people are doing are using curtains from charity shops or duvet covers from charity shops, or recycling old garments into new ones, recycling zips and buttons and things like that. So it's a really good challenge to get you to think differently about the projects that you make, so you don't have to be spending a fortune. So what I was going to do is head over to Instagram and do a screen recording to show you some makes, but then I thought actually I've not got everybody's permission, and not everybody may want their information shown on YouTube. They may be quite happy for it to be shared on Instagram, but maybe don't want it shared over here on YouTube, so I thought I'd better not do that. But what would be great if you could head over to Instagram, and if you search the hashtag sewfrugal, or it might be sewfrugal19, I'll check and put some text in. If you head over and put that hashtag into Instagram and have a good look through and see what different makes people have made, how they've been creative about sourcing their fabrics and their notions, and how much it's cost for them to make their garments. I've been on today and you can see people have made things for 75p or £1.50 from things from charity shops. So definitely head over for some ideas and some inspiration. Just to let you know, the challenge is running. It's been running throughout August and it's running up until the end of September. So there's still plenty of time to take part. The prize, thinking about the idea behind the challenge, there's several ambassadors, one of which is me. And what we've done, all the ambassadors have donated some fabric, which will then be gifted to the winner of the challenge. So you'll have a really nice bespoke fabric bundle that you can then use to turn into some lovely garments of your own. Now I'm also one of the judges for this sewing challenge, so there's Rach from Stitched Up, there's myself, and of course JJ from the Camden Stitch, and JJ did decide that she wanted it to be a judged challenge because of the nature of the challenges, to be creative and really think about how you can make something really good but without it costing a fortune. So she did want us all to kind of spend the time in looking at how people have done that rather than just selecting a winner at random. So yeah, absolutely, I'm really happy to be part of that. So if you want to head over to JJ's YouTube channel or Instagram, if you're not familiar with the challenge, there's loads of FAQs and things like that to help you get started. So that's it, that's all that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you like the little goodies, and do let me know in the comments if you plan to make those for yourself or for gifts for anybody, or as I said earlier, any ideas of things that people can make from fabric scraps. Do leave them along with any links to your own videos or anything like that in the comments below. And have a wonderful week, whatever you're up to. I shall see you very soon. Bye.
All my dreams are coming, all my dreams are humming.